He announced that after 15 seasons, he's retiring from basketball. He is the youngest MVP in NBA history, and he made this statement: "The next chapter is about chasing my dreams and sharing my growth." His full accomplishments throughout his career: he was the 2011 NBA MVP, becoming the youngest MVP in NBA history. He's a three-time All-Star, a 2009 Rookie of the Year. He played for the Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves, Cleveland Cavaliers, Detroit Pistons, and the Memphis Grizzlies. When we talk about Derrick Rose, obviously there's off the course stuff that happened early in his career. That's a whole separate thing. And I know a lot of people are just going to stress that and bring that up, so I just wanted to say that quickly. That's not the point that I want to get at. That was early in his career. Nothing happened since then. What I want to address is the storyline that I think we can all take from him. We can all sit here and say he's one of the greatest what-if stories in NBA history. We can all sit here and say that Derrick Rose could have been, should have been, would have been, whatever the case may be. What we do know is this: Derrick Rose became the youngest MVP in NBA history, tore his ACL shortly after, and battled injury after injury after injury for countless years, hindering his entire career. But yet, I just said that he lasted 15 seasons in the NBA. That's not what a lot of people are going to do in this world. A lot of people will go through one or two major injuries and give up and decide to move on from their dreams or stop pursuing or stop working hard. Not this guy. Derrick Rose had to deal with the mentality. Like, just think about that. You were at the top of the world, the youngest MVP in NBA history, almost a guaranteed lock for the Hall of Fame at only 22 years old. And that slim to none chance of not making the Hall of Fame, and maybe he still does, but overall it wasn't quite the career, obviously, as people intended it or planned for it to be. He ended up not making it and having the career he intended. But yet he stayed confident that entire time and panned out and carved out a career that lasted 15 NBA seasons, being able to mentor many great players and have a drastic impact on the game of basketball. So much so that they even have an NBA rule named after him, the Rose Rule, which is designated for a player coming off his rookie contract extension to be able to earn a 30% salary cap increase if they're able to outperform what was originally agreed upon in his deal. Essentially meaning that players overperform their contracts they sign as a rookie, that they can go get up to 30% opposed to the 25% originally allotted to them. His name will legitimately be entrenched in basketball forever. People will never forget his story. But as I said, I think the biggest lesson that we can take from Derrick Rose is that he went from an all-time great player to an all-time great inspirational story of perseverance. You can't name too many athletes that persevered through more than what Derrick Rose persevered through. Derrick Rose went through obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. But yet year after year after year, for 15 total years, we saw him come back. We saw him pan out and do whatever he could to make the best of his opportunity he was given. Whether that be in a rotational role, whether that be as a six-man, whether that be as a starter, whether that be as a mentor. He made an impact no matter what organization he played it for. And he was a guy that persevered no matter what got in his way. That is what we should be able to remember him for. The what-ifs are certainly there, but the perseverance that he displayed throughout the entirety of his career should mean more to what he brought to the game of basketball than what a lot of us consider and think about when we think of Derrick Rose. Because that perseverance is one of the more unique things. Yes, he was an all-time great talent, but he also was an all-time great story of inspirational story of perseverance.